Lewis Hamilton just delivered one of the most spectacular recovery drives of the 2025 season. From the pit lane to 7th place, voted driver of the day, executing overtake after overtake with surgical precision. Charles Leclerc maintained his 3rd place qualifying position to secure another podium. Both drives showcased exactly why these drivers are legends. But Ferrari's response revealed a truth they never intended to expose. And what Hamilton said afterwards has left the entire team speechless about their own internal hierarchy. Here's what actually happened at the Belgian Grand Prix, and why Ferrari's contrasting reactions expose everything about who they really consider their championship fighter. Saturday was a disaster for Lewis Hamilton. According to multiple race reports, he was eliminated in Q1 after Ferrari fitted an untested component that completely destroyed the SF25's balance. The car was unpredictable, snapping mid-corner, fighting his every input. Hamilton was furious, and rightfully so. He'd start from the pit lane while his teammate Charles Leclerc secured 3rd on the grid behind the McLarens. But here's where the story gets fascinating. Ferrari worked overnight to rebuild Hamilton's setup completely. They scrapped the problematic component, readjusted ride height, softened rear damping, and altered the aero map. As Hamilton himself revealed in post-race interviews, the overnight changes we made to the setup really allowed me to get the most out of the car. Race day delivered 2 completely different masterclasses. Leclerc held his nerve under pressure from Max Verstappen to maintain his podium position, his 5th of the season. Meanwhile, Hamilton launched one of the most systematic assaults on the midfield ever witnessed. Car after car fell to his precision. No drama, no contact, just Hamilton at his absolute clinical best. But what happened next in Ferrari's communications revealed a preference they're desperately trying to hide. And Hamilton's response exposes just how deep this goes. According to social media analysis and team communications, Ferrari's celebration of Leclerc's podium was immediate and comprehensive. Team photos, detailed race analysis, the full treatment for securing crucial championship points. The enthusiasm was genuine and deserved. But Hamilton's drive? The response was notably muted. A brief acknowledgement, standard messaging, nothing approaching the celebration reserved for Leclerc. And this wasn't just about finishing positions. This was about completely different reactions to 2 exceptional performances. Here's why this matters. Hamilton had just pulled off more on-track overtakes than any other driver. He'd been voted driver of the day by fans worldwide. His own team radio captured Ferrari engineers falling silent, not because they were unimpressed, but because they were genuinely shocked at what they were witnessing. As one source described it, they weren't leading him, they were watching him. Ferrari's own communications revealed their surprise. After everything that went wrong Friday and Saturday, this wasn't a driver salvaging a weekend. This was a driver rewriting the entire narrative. But Hamilton's post-race comments revealed something even deeper. Speaking with raw honesty, he said, "I'm happy to have come from all the way back there, recovered, and got into the points, but not the result that I want this weekend, and definitely a weekend to forget." The subtext was unmistakable. This performance wasn't about joy, it was about showing Ferrari what becomes possible when they actually listen to his feedback. What Hamilton said next has completely stunned Ferrari's leadership, because it exposes a fundamental problem they thought they were managing quietly. Hamilton's post-race interviews weren't just reflective, they were a masterclass in professional accountability that exposed Ferrari's failures. He took full responsibility for Saturday's Q1 elimination, saying the fault lay with him alone. But then he delivered the key insight that has Ferrari's technical department asking uncomfortable questions. According to his detailed post-race comments, Hamilton explained, "The strategy and pit stops were executed perfectly, and the overnight changes we made to the setup really allowed me to get the most out of the car." But buried in that praise was a damning revelation. It took a qualifying disaster for Ferrari to finally trust his judgment about the car's setup. The performance data supports his frustration. From the pit lane, Hamilton demonstrated systematic overtaking through radalon, finding inside lines through blanchiment, carrying speed where others hesitated, executing clean exits from the bus stop chicane. As he described it, the car finally felt workable. Not perfect, but no longer fighting his inputs. Ferrari boss Frédéric Vasseur acknowledged the shift, praising Hamilton's aggressive yet calculated approach under tricky conditions. But the timing raises the crucial question Hamilton didn't need to ask directly. Why did it take a humiliating Q1 exit for the team to make these changes? Meanwhile, according to Formula1.com's official standings, this recovery drive brought Hamilton's season total to just 1 podium compared to Leclerc's 5. The 30-point championship gap between them, 139 to 109, tells the story Ferrari's diplomatic communications won't acknowledge. But Hamilton's most revealing comment came when he addressed Ferrari's decision-making process directly. And what he said has created tension the team can't ignore. Here's where Hamilton's post-race analysis becomes devastating for Ferrari's internal dynamics. He revealed that the overnight setup changes weren't just adjustments. They represented everything he'd been requesting for weeks. According to technical analysis, Ferrari had removed the untested suspension floor interaction system that Hamilton had flagged as problematic during Friday practice. His feedback had been ignored until disaster struck in qualifying. Only then did they implement his recommendations. Hamilton's description of the car's transformation was telling. The balance wasn't perfect, but it was finally workable. For a 7-time world champion, that's all he needs to create magic, and he proved it with a drive that showcased patience, racecraft, and raw ability that left even Ferrari engineers speechless. The broader implications are staggering. According to multiple sources analyzing Ferrari's technical approach, this weekend revealed fundamental communication breakdowns between Hamilton's feedback and the team's decision-making process. How many more weekends have been compromised by ignoring his input? Ferrari's team communications during the race captured their genuine surprise. Unlike their enthusiastic radio calls during Leclerc's podium fight, Hamilton's recovery was met with quiet disbelief. They offered split times and updates, but no celebrations. They were witnessing something they hadn't expected was possible. Hamilton's gratitude toward the team felt genuine but carried weight. "They've worked incredibly hard," he said, thanking both factory staff and trackside crew. But beneath that appreciation was an unmistakable challenge. This level of performance shouldn't require a recovery. It should be the baseline. The most explosive part of Hamilton's comments came when he addressed Ferrari's broader approach, and what he revealed changes everything about their championship strategy. Hamilton's post-race analysis didn't just critique the weekend. It exposed Ferrari's fundamental approach to championship contention. His comments about the delayed race start revealed his championship mindset. "We started the race a little bit too late. They kept going round and round. So I think they were probably overreacting from the last race." This wasn't just about race procedures, it was about Ferrari's decision-making philosophy. Hamilton sees opportunities where Ferrari sees caution. He identifies solutions where they see problems. And most importantly, he delivers results that justify his confidence. The contrast with their treatment of Leclerc becomes impossible to ignore. According to race analysis, Leclerc's podium maintenance was excellent, exactly the kind of mature drive Ferrari needs. But Hamilton's recovery showcased something different, the ability to transform disasters into declarations. Ferrari's muted response to Hamilton's masterclass versus their enthusiastic celebration of Leclerc's podium reveals their internal hierarchy more clearly than any official statement. They're managing two different types of excellence, but only one receives the full championship treatment. According to sources analyzing Ferrari's internal dynamics, Hamilton's performance has reignited deeper questions within the technical department. Why did it take a crisis to trust his judgment? How many more opportunities have been missed by not listening to his feedback earlier? The mathematics support Hamilton's frustration. Despite delivering one of the season's most spectacular recovery drives, he remains 30 points behind Leclerc in the championship. That gap represents consistent performance versus sporadic brilliance, and Ferrari clearly knows which approach they prefer to build around. Hamilton's post-race honesty has created questions Ferrari can't answer publicly without exposing their internal preferences. His willingness to take responsibility while simultaneously highlighting systemic failures demonstrates exactly why he's a 7-time world champion, and exactly why Ferrari's approach frustrates him. What do you think Ferrari should prioritize? Leclerc's consistent podium delivery or Hamilton's feedback-driven breakthrough potential? Let me know your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more deep dive analysis of Ferrari's fascinating internal dynamics.